May 12th, 2017, 7:44 in the morning. A nurse in Lancashire, England, clicks her mouse to access a patient file. The screen flickers. Then it turns red. A message appears, white text on crimson. Your files have been encrypted. Pay $300 in Bitcoin within 3 days or your data is gone forever. She calls IT. The line is busy. She walks down the hall. Every screen in the ward displays the same message. Within 90 minutes, 16 hospitals across England are offline. Ambulances are diverted. Surgeries are canceled. Doctors cannot retrieve patient histories. In the chaos, someone makes a decision no one will ever officially acknowledge. They start triaging patients not by severity, but by whether anyone can remember their medical history without a computer. By noon, the attack has spread to 150 countries, 230,000 machines infected, FedEx freezes in Memphis, Renault factories halt in France. Deutsche Bahn departure boards display ransom notes instead of train times. But here is what no one watching the news understands. The weapon tearing through global infrastructure was not built by criminals. It was engineered, tested, and deployed by the National Security Agency of the United States. A classified surveillance tool, codenamed EternalBlue, had escaped containment. How did a secret American weapon end up in the hands of ransomware gangs? Who stole it? And why did the most powerful intelligence agency on Earth keep a flaw in the world's most common operating system secret for 5 years, rather than fix it? Back to 2001, Fort Meade, Maryland. The NSA formalizes a new division, Tailored Access Operations, TAO. The name is deliberately bland. The mission is not. TAO becomes the agency's elite hacking unit. Their job is to break into any system, anywhere, without detection. To do this, they need exploits, vulnerabilities in software that allow unauthorized access. A zero-day exploit is the most valuable, a flaw the software creator does not know exists. 0 days since discovery, 0 chance of a patch, 0 defense. The NSA stockpiles these exploits like ammunition. They do not disclose them to the companies whose software is vulnerable. They keep them secret because the moment a flaw is patched, it becomes worthless. Sometime around 2012, an NSA analyst discovers something extraordinary. Microsoft Windows contains a flaw in its server message block protocol. SMB is the system Windows uses to share files across networks. It dates back to the 80s. Virtually every Windows machine on Earth uses it. The flaw allows remote code execution. An attacker can send a specially crafted packet to any Windows machine and, without any user interaction, gain full control. Administrator privileges, the ability to install software, steal data, or pivot to other machines on the network. This is not a vulnerability. This is a master key. The NSA does not report it to Microsoft. Instead, they build a weapon around it. They call it EternalBlue. For 5 years, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in the TAO arsenal. Inside Fort Meade, a crown jewel. Outside, no one knows it exists. August 2016, a group calling itself the Shadow Brokers appears online. Their first message is written in broken English, theatrical and mocking. They claim to possess hacking tools stolen from the Equation Group, a known alias for the NSA. To prove they are not bluffing, they release a sample. Researchers analyze it. The code is authentic. The Shadow Brokers are not lying. Over the following months, they release more files. Each dump accompanied by rambling messages, taunting the NSA, referencing current events in ways that suggest they are watching, choosing their moments. Inside Fort Meade, alarms are ringing. Someone has stolen the keys to the kingdom. Worse, they are handing them out for free. April 14th, 2017, Good Friday. The Shadow Brokers release their largest dump. They call it Lost in Translation. The archive contains dozens of tools. One stands out, EternalBlue. Microsoft had released a patch in March. Someone, likely the NSA, had finally disclosed the vulnerability when they realized the tools were compromised. But patching takes time. Many organizations delay updates for months. Some systems cannot be patched at all. On underground forums, criminals begin experimenting. They attach ransomware, They build worms that spread automatically from machine to machine. 4 weeks pass. The world does not patch fast enough. May 12, 2017. The first infections appear in Asia. By the time Europe wakes up, the attack is spreading at machine speed. The malware calls itself WannaCry. The design is brutal. EternalBlue propagates across networks. Once inside a machine, it encrypts all files and demands Bitcoin. But it does not stop at one machine. It scans for other vulnerable systems. One infected laptop on hospital Wi-Fi can take down an entire healthcare system in minutes. The United Kingdom is hit hardest. The NHS runs on legacy systems. Many hospitals still use Windows XP, unsupported since 2014. They are defenseless. By afternoon, 80 NHS organizations are affected. Emergency rooms operate on paper, staff photograph screens with their phones before encryption completes, trying to salvage whatever patient data they can. But as the crisis unfolds, something strange happens. The spread begins to slow. A 22-year-old security researcher in Devon is watching in real time. His name is Marcus Hutchins. Online, he goes by Malware Tech. He notices something odd. Before encrypting files, the malware checks if a specific domain exists. The domain is a long string of nonsense characters. It is not registered. Hutchins registers the domain. It costs $10.69. The moment the domain goes live, WannaCry stops spreading. The malware was designed to check for that domain as a kill switch. A 22-year-old with a $10 registration has just stopped the largest cyber attack in history. But the damage is done. Global estimates range between $4 and $8 billion. Attribution comes quickly. Intelligence agencies point at North Korea. The Lazarus Group, Pyongyang, strangled by sanctions, had turned to cybercrime as a revenue stream. But North Korea did not discover EternalBlue. They simply picked it up after the shadow brokers threw it on the floor. The weapon that cost the world billions was made in America. 6 weeks later, June 27th, 2017, a routine software update is pushed to users of Medoc, a Ukrainian accounting program used by nearly every company in Ukraine. The update appears normal. It is not. Someone has compromised Medoc's servers. The malware spreads through EternalBlue, but also harvests credentials and uses legitimate Windows tools to move laterally. It displays a ransom note demanding $300 in Bitcoin. But the encryption is designed to destroy, not extort. Even if victims pay, files cannot be recovered. This is not ransomware. This is a wiper. The world calls it NotPetya. Ukraine is paralyzed. Banks freeze. The Chernobyl nuclear plant switches to manual radiation monitoring, but NotPetya follows the supply chains outward. Maersk, the Danish shipping giant that moves 1/5 of global container traffic, has an office in Ukraine. One infected machine. Within 7 minutes, every Windows computer in their network is encrypted. 45,000 machines. The entire IT infrastructure of one of the world's largest logistics companies, gone. For 10 days, Maersk operates on paper and WhatsApp. The cost is $300 million. Total global damage from NotPetya exceeds $10 billion. It is the most destructive cyber attack in history. Attribution takes longer. In February 2018, Western governments announced NotPetya was the work of Unit 74455, Russian military intelligence. The attack was punishment for Ukraine, a message delivered through infrastructure. The shadow brokers were never caught. Their last message appeared in April 2017. Since then, silence. No arrests, no indictments, no confirmed attribution. Whoever they were, they demonstrated something unprecedented. The world's most sophisticated intelligence agency could be robbed. Its most guarded tools could be scattered across the internet like pamphlets. Weapons designed to protect national security could be turned against global infrastructure with no warning and no accountability. Marcus Hutchins, the researcher who stopped WannaCry, was arrested 3 months later at a Las Vegas airport. Charges unrelated to the attack. Years earlier, before his legitimate career, he had written banking malware. The man who saved hospitals had built tools to steal from banks. The line between hacker and defender had always been thinner than anyone wanted to believe. After WannaCry and NotPetya, patching rates improved. Governments updated guidelines. The conversation shifted toward defense. But the underlying dynamics remain unchanged. The next EternalBlue already exists. The only question is who will leak it.